Whoa! Look at that!
This is a big fish.
Oh, that's the grandfather himself.
A few years back, following my father's passing, we put together a show entitled Tribute to Dad and dedicated it to his memory. He truly was a special man who lived by the code of outdoor traditions and took the task of passing them along to his kids and grandchildren very seriously. I knew that his story and the passing of a classic family patriarch would strike a common chord with many outdoorsmen who grew up learning to walk in their father's footsteps like I did. But I honestly wasn't prepared for the largest response from viewers we ever received in nearly 30 years of making television shows. Blood and outdoor heritage run very, very deep, my friends, which is why on today's show I decided to celebrate another example of a family who is well rooted in the fishing tradition.
Finally made it to Rainy Lake, Ontario, Canada. This is my favorite spot in the world.
My very good friend Wayne Inger here is very sentimental when it comes to his family's annual Canadian fishing trip.
How old were you there?
A time to fish, relax, bask in nature, and play games together. Some of their very best family memories have taken place right here in Ontario at Taylor's Cove Resort on Rainy Lake.
You know, it was about 1977, or about 33 years ago. Came up to Canada for my first time, and my first trip was here to Rainy Lake. Never have missed a year in Rainy Lake since I started. Just love it here. This is about right. Yeah. Having the opportunity to fish with your kids and your wife and brother and your sister and your dad and everything. To me, that is just one of the coolest things in the world. Fishing is supposed to be something you share. It's not an individual sport to me.
Last summer, 3 generations were on hand, and the Inger family roll call went a little bit like this.
Hi, I'm Terry, Wayne's wife.
Rich Inger, Wayne's brother.
I'm Sue Inger. I'm Joni. I'm Wayne's favorite sister.
I'm Wayne's son, Ryan, and this is Uncle Ev here.
I'm the outlaw. I married into this mess.
And last but not least, we have Vernon Inger, the kindly old World War II vet, lifelong farmer, and old school gentleman who fathered and grandfathered this Inger clan.
You heard about Foley when he went to the auction sale?
No.
Auction sale?
Well,
Talk about vim and vigor.
And I can hold 2 chickens. I was born in Pipestone, Minnesota. And from there I moved to Worthington with my folks when I was a little kid, I guess. Hell of a life. And my dad farmed up there for 3 years, but he went broke during the Depression. Here we go. And then he went to work on the railroad. So we moved to St. James, Minnesota. And it was the best place I've ever been, as far as I'm concerned.
Pops, see that rock that's right there?
Yeah.
We got kind of a little shelf that comes up on it, and then there's a rock little point that comes down. And they've been sitting right on the other side this afternoon. They were right on the other side of it, so we'll check that spot first.
I didn't graduate from high school because I flunked in English all the time. Because we had 80-acre farm. My dad worked on the railroad, and I kind of farmed that. And I milked 8 cows, well, 6 cows, I guess, morning and night. I didn't have much time to read, and I was never a real good reader anyway.
Any bites yet, Pop?
Well, not that I know of. I got some A's and B's and other things, but English I flunked.
You're my favorite fishing partner. I say, you're my favorite fishing partner today.
Yeah, today, yeah.
You're the only one.
Oh.
And the over there.
I tell you, it's really kind of a joke. I went to the superintendent of schools, which is a pretty good guy. Yeah, I got one. So I asked Mr. Johnson, I said, how old do you think I'll be when I graduate?
Gonna need a net for that one, Pops?
Yeah, you might. He's a little stubborn. And he said, at the rate you're going, you're going to be a hell of an old man. So I said, I'm going to quit.
Hey.
Good one. The keeper too, ain't he?
17.5 inches, Pops. Perfect.
Perfect. That's good.
Can be 17 3/4.
He's a keeper then.
Yes, that's just the right size.
We got meat. That new worm helped. During the war, my mother and my dad moved to Portland, Oregon, and worked in the shipyards, and my sister went with them. And so I joined the service.
Pops, do you remember when the first time you ever came up here was?
Yeah. You guys slept in the tent.
Would you have the motorhome?
Yeah, I had that little mini home. Yeah, at that time you volunteered, and so I ended up in the Army. Ooh, say now. Then I ended up with the 96th Division. Then the little guys can pull just as hard as the big ones. Yeah. We had about 12 weeks of basic training, and then from that I was supposed to be a full-blood soldier, but you're not really a good one until you get in combat. That makes a man out of you.
So there you have it. 3 generations of Ingers kicking off another memorable trip together at Rainy Lake last summer. As fate would have it, though, it turned out to be memorable and important in a way none of them could have known at the time. You see, this fishing trip was destined to be Vernon's last. Late last year, 3 days following a cancer diagnosis, Vernon Charles Inger passed away at the ripe age of 86. I share this in advance of the rest of today's story, so all of you can truly appreciate the significance a simple fishing trip can have on a family such as the Ingers or yours.
See ya.
Well, no matter what, there's not a downtime on Rainy Lake. It's always go, go, go.
Continuing now at Rainy Lake, Ontario with the Inger family, let's focus on new father and son memories being made and reflections on the role fishing has played in their relationship over the years.
We are here.
We're here.
Spot number 1. We did a lot of fishing when we were kids. My dad used to take us out to some local lakes, had a great time. Eventually we got to northern Minnesota and loved fishing in northern Minnesota.
Hey, I got something here.
Yeah, that might be a good one too, huh?
I don't
It's
know.
staying down, that's a good sign.
That was one thing we always did, no matter if we could afford it or not. We'd take the kids and we'd go up north to Orr, Minnesota, go fishing.
Well, it's a fish anyway.
That's how they learn how to fish. Is he a keeper?
Yeah, he's one of our dinner.
Oh,
He's
boy.
one of your dinner fish.
Oh, good.
I used to ask my dad to go fishing when I was way back when I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and I couldn't get enough of it, and I always wanted him to take me to a lake, and let's go, Dad. I remember pestering him. Oh, here we go.
We used to go up fishing for a whole week. Rent a cabin and go fishing for a whole week. We come home and they said, "Where's Wayne?" He's down by the creek fishing. They had a river, creek. He was down there fishing again. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, that one will keep. Now, when I got a chance to take him fishing,
I got something.
and so the roles started to reverse a little bit. This is just a really cool opportunity to at least once a year spend a week or so together
It's a keeper.
and just to reminisce about the old times. What we're doing right now is we're using this drop weight. That's slightly different than we've done in the past, but for the most part, predominantly, it's always been night crawlers here. Oop, there's one. Made a trip up here to Rainy Lake one time. Oh, this is a little bit better. And just absolutely loved it. A little bigger. And after that, this became something that was on my to-do list every year. 20 inches. That one's gonna be too big. I better get him back in, but 20 inches. The limit is 17 3/4 about. I've had so many special trips here at Rainy Lake and Taylor's Cove. Well, last night we started out here and it was actually pretty good. So we've now got some cloud cover, wind has changed. We're gonna come back here and give it another shot. We have always caught fish, and not just a few fish. We've always caught plenty of fish.
There's some there, by golly.
But I had one particular trip up here that was by far the best ever. My dad caught the largest northern he'd ever caught in his life, 21 pounds, while we were fishing together. And my mother was still here. And on that same trip, my mother had 6 walleyes that were probably around 7 pounds each, and she hadn't realized there was a change in the rules. And I had to go by and say, "Mom, you can't keep any of those." And the look on her face, the disappointment when she had to throw them all back. But then I took her to another spot, and then she caught the ones that were eaters, and she was okay with it. Oh, there we go. Got one on. I don't know, that particular trip just stood out. Not too big again. Boy, I tell you, they just don't want to run big out here, but at least they're plentiful. My mom died from cancer about 5-6 years ago, and she absolutely loved this whole place. Rainy Lake and Taylor's Cove. She used to catch so many good fish.
Look, we're getting a bite.
My dad also.
Getting a bite. Missed him.
What a trooper. Took my mom all the years that she had cancer.
Yeah, I got him that time.
My dad would bring her up here though just for the sheer excitement and the joy of getting back in some of these bays and catching big pike and walleyes.
Hey, there you go.
It was just so unique to be able to finally take them and bring them up here and experience the same things that I had experienced for a number of years.
I got something.
Hey, Pops. And now I take my dad every year.
This one's a little stubborn.
One of my favorite fishing partners in the world.
A little bigger.
When he and I are in a boat together, we don't have to say a whole lot.
There you go, Pops.
We just kind of look at each other and all those memories come back of when we were, when we were both younger. And it's just cool.
Too big, huh?
When I'm happy with something, I don't see a lot of reason to move. This to me is the ultimate of coming here, total relaxation, enjoyment, very convenient. Taylor's Cove sits right in a nice little Bears Pass. It's out of the wind, your equipment is safe. To me, this is just a nice place, and I really don't care to go anywhere else to try.
Ready to go.
I'm ready to catch them if you are.
I've had an opportunity to now fish in 3 different situations where it's a 3-generational thing.
Rub your head for good luck.
Yeah.
I remember my dad and my grandfather and I being out in a boat together, and it was really cool. And now I've got my kids who come up and then fish with Gramps. And so now we're back into the 3-generational thing.
Hey, Grandpa, who's gonna catch the most fish?
Oh, I don't know, probably you.
I think I started coming up here when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Took my leech.
Pop, you lose your leech?
Where's the fish? You come up with no leech and no fish. Every year that we get to come up here and do this, I just cherish it.
Oh, it's been too long since I fished with bops.
My grandpa was able to start coming with us, and that's something that's pretty cool too, because you don't know how many years you're gonna get left to spend that with him.
You're just bulldogging, trying to stay down there. Not huge, but it's a pretty nice, decent fish.
So every year that he can come up, it's something that you take and you hold on to.
Yeah, look at that.
That's what we gotta start catching, Grandpa. So this year too, just being able to go out and sit in the boat, and even if we're not catching fish, you're having a good time spending it with the Grandpa.
What do you got going there, Pops?
I got something here, but I get the dip net.
Fish on.
Something big. Ooh-wee.
Oh
Hey,
boy.
You got a good one there, Pops.
Wee.
Oh, I wonder if a northern just didn't grab it.
I haven't seen it yet. God.
Let's see this thing. Oh, and pike.
Oh, nice big pike.
Ooh.
There we go. Let's see the way that thing was fighting there, taking it every time. That has to
Oh,
be a pike.
Papa, that was a good one.
That's my trophy.
Oh, look at that, Pops. My dad got a pretty nice pike today.
How about that?
What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Around here, you don't know where those big ones are at and when they're gonna bite. I'm gonna put it in live well just for a second here so we can get out the measuring tool.
Grandpa, I think I know what's wrong. Why I'm not catching fish. I think I gotta switch hats with you.
See, you gotta wear a right cap. I don't want that big thing. Well, he likes to pick on me a little bit.
I gotta see these here for a second. There we go. Now I'll catch fish.
Oh,
do I look
God,
good?
yeah.
You can tell blood is similar. I pick on him, he picks on me.
Now you think you're gonna catch them looking like Pops?
Now I'm gonna catch fish here. We usually have bets when we come up here and who's gonna catch the first fish and the most fish.
Nice fish, Pops.
Nice job, Grandpa. Figured it was about time I caught a fish, so I grabbed his hat from him, and sure enough, I caught my first one.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, now look at that.
Oh boy.
That's a big one too.
Oh, it just kind of took it.
What do you got? Big enough to net?
Maybe. Maybe a small
Here it
northern or, yeah,
Another pike.
smaller northern.
Oh.
Oh, it did catch. Well, we got a little bit of both here. I caught a walleye and a northern. See, where's the hat, Grandpa? Grandpa, kiss it. I think it's the hat.
Oh, God. But you get a walleye and a northern at the same time?
Yep. And just as we were getting it in the net, the walleye came out of the northern.
I don't think there's a time here where you can go out and fish walleyes and say we're strictly fishing walleyes.
Nice one.
Pretty good.
Oh, that's a nice
Should we hook it onto your line?
Yeah, that's a trophy.
Yeah.
When you're there, you're fishing smallmouth bass, you're fishing perch, you're fishing walleyes, sauger, crappies, pike.
Hey.
Hey, there you go, Pops. Got a pike. You're fishing it all because you never know what's going to be there.
I got a fish, I think.
Must have a good one on.
Hey, another northern, I suppose.
Yeah, oh boy. I'm just gonna grab the net already.
I don't know, could be a walleye too. Don't want to come up.
Oh, right over here, Grandpa. Good fish there, Grandpa.
That's nice. Good one, Pops. Got another one about 21 inches or so. 22.
22.
Good one, Pops. 22 inches.
There you go, Grandpa.
Bye-bye.
Grandpa, myself, and the boys, we've gone out fishing a lot up here and really had a good time doing it. So 3-generation thing is much more fun because it brings so much more life to the boat. Everybody has a different perspective, and the youth has got a different idea of how fishing should be. And then you've got my dad that's fished many, many years. And I'm kind of in the middle of the pack. So the opportunity to do this is just unbelievable. Can't think of anything more fun to do and keep family involved in it.
I got a good family, real good. Their mother was a honey too. Take care now.
Should've, would've, could've. Today's moral is not to wait until it's too late to share good times fishing with the ones you love.
Take care
There's
now.
no better time and place than in a boat to say how much you care or store up memories like the 3 generations of the Inger family did last summer at Rainy Lake. Yes, it turned out to be Vernon's last fishing trip before his time on Earth was done. But thank God he had one last hurrah doing what he loved with those who meant the most to him. All kinds of tears flow from the eyes and roll off of the face in exactly the same way. But those tears shed by the remembrance of great memories are purely sweet. The good telling of a bad joke.
He said, what the doctor say? What the doctor say? He says, you're gonna die.
Family meals
Let these
shared.
gifts to us be blessed. Amen.
A brisk boat ride on a wilderness lake. Big or little fish caught or missed, it mattered not. The sound of laughter, a dip of snooze, the stealing of a hat for good luck, or a seemingly prophetic bidding of a fond farewell.
See ya.
They all remain.
Someplace, somewhere, hell of a life.
And I guess in life or death, what more could any man really hope for than to be remembered fondly by his descendants forever? So here's to keeping old family fishing traditions alive and the creating of new ones too. You take care now there, Vernon. I'm Babe Winkelman. Thanks for watching, and until next time, everybody, hey, good fishing.
Oh, look at that, Pops.
He's good. He's a good boy. But I got to tell you something about that boy. When he was about, 15, 16, he didn't care much about farming, just fishing and hunting. And one day we had to fix fence. And I said, hurry up, get your butt in gear and get this done. And he looked me right in the eye and he said, Dad, I'm tired of taking your damn crap. I got kind of a kick out of it. So I went home and I told my wife, I said, your son became a man today.